that has been very impactful, very, very innovative. And of course, as we know already, this event is done in commemoration of the World Youth Skills Day, usually celebrated on the 15th day of July 20, every other year. And so this year, coincidentally, marks the 10th anniversary of this great exercise that was born out of the United Nations General Assembly that held in 2014. And so with the kind permission of all of us gathered here today, I would like to please request that wherever you are seated, because since the creation of this state, we haven't had this good, except for a time like this where we have a visionary leader, a gentleman on the saddle who cares about the future of our nation, a gentleman who understands that for any nation to thrive, then the youth force must be very vibrant. Let's put our hands together as we acknowledge the #1 citizen of Akwa Ibom State, His Excellency Pastor Umar Basi Eno, here represented at this event by the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Youth Development, Dr. Ekerete Ekanem. Please give him a round of applause, please. Thank you very much, Excellency. You are welcome. Let me also, at this juncture, acknowledge and welcome in a very special way a gentleman that take that just at the end of the acknowledgement of all our dignitaries. Let me also acknowledge the Honorable Minister is not here alone. Honorable Minister is not here alone. Of course, he's here with his entourage, and still in that entourage, we have the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth Development, who is right here in our midst, Mr. Olubome Olusanye. Thank you very much and welcome. And let me also acknowledge and welcome in a very special way the Chairman, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly Committee on Youth Sports and Security, who is here in our midst, Honorable Wemedimo Osukwa, represented by Mr. Linus Efiang. We thank and welcome you. We acknowledge and welcome also in a very special way the gentleman coordinating all the activities of the Permanent Secretary, the Minister of Youth Development. I'm talking about Mr. Songoyo. We thank and welcome you. Permit me, therefore, to acknowledge and welcome all our partners. This event, as we know, is powered by the Ministry of Youth Development at Akwa Ibom State, but in partnership with some institutions and departments and ministries like the Ministry of Information. We thank and welcome all of you. The Ministry of Science and Digital Economy, we thank and welcome you. And let me also acknowledge and welcome the Dakada Skills Acquisition Center through director of that great institution, Professor Enaide Musara. We thank and welcome you. Let me also acknowledge and welcome all major stakeholders of youth, the senior special assistants to the governor on youth matters. We acknowledge the youth leader of the All Progressive Congress, Akwa Ibom State. We acknowledge all other senior special assistants to the governor that are here. We thank and welcome you. Special assistants, youth leaders across the 31 local government areas. We thank and welcome the supervisors for youth across the local government. We thank and welcome the youth council structure. We thank the structure of the Arise Youth, the female youth that are here in their numbers. We thank also the students who are also major stakeholders of this summit. Permit me also to thank and welcome the latest beneficiaries of the governor's magnanimity. The Honorable Minister may interest you to know that today is the grand finale of an event that started with a press briefing, and on the heels of that, we had a Thanksgiving, and yesterday we had a pitch and innovations, and yesterday was the opening ceremonies, and today we are here gathered to listen to a gentleman that commands and executes all the vision of His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And of course, today we also launched different innovations put in place by His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State. Because I'm ready. I know you're also ready. If you are ready, please once again, put your hands together and celebrate yourself. Thank you so much. Please keep celebrating yourself. If you don't celebrate yourself, no other person will celebrate you. Thank you so much. Permit me, Excellency, to punctuate today as I invite the gentleman that you had saddled with the responsibility of interpreting your vision for youth development in Akwa Ibom State by inviting for tone setting at these events, the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Youth Development at Akwa Ibom State, Dr. Ekerete Ekanem, to please accept to come for the tone setting at this event. Thank you so much.
The Honorable Minister in charge of Ministry of Youth Development, please, before we proceed, I would like all of us to be on our feet to observe a minute silence in respect to the demise of our immediate past president, President Muhammadu Buhari. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Our dear guests, the Honorable Minister in charge of Ministry of Youth Development, my friend, a brother that I have discovered, the one that is translating the renewed hope of His Excellency as far as youth development is concerned, the Permanent Secretary in charge of the Ministry, Federal Ministry of Youth Development, the Chief of Staff to the Honorable Minister, personal aides, all the members of the entourage of the Honorable Minister, you are welcome to this event. The Honorable Minister was far away from the country, but because of the respect and the love that he has for the people of Akwa Ibom State, he decided to honor this invitation. So he deserves a round of applause. Representative of the Chairman, House Committee on Youth, Akwa Ibom State, Youth and Security, welcome. The Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Youth Matters, the Youth Leader, APC, Akwa Ibom State, the Rector, Dazak, the Director, Admin and Supplies, covering for Office of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Youth Development, Akwa Ibom State, all members of staff of the Ministry of Youth, collaborating partners from Ministry of Information, Ministry of Science and Digital Economy, you are all welcome. The Director General of NYSC, represented by the State Coordinator of NYSC in his representation, and members of NYSC Akwa Ibom State, you are welcome. The various youth structures, personal assistants, special assistants to the governor on various matters, both youth and other matters, you are welcome. Gentlemen of the press, I receive you all in Jesus' name. Everyone is recognized. Stakeholders, youth, students, teachers, and all the participants of this occasion. Today, let us set the tone for today, for the events we are undertaking. This speech is made by my honorable self, who is also representing His Excellency, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, who is unavoidably absent from this occasion. I warmly, it was a deep sense of purpose and privilege that I warmly welcome Your Excellency, here represented by myself, Pastor Omar Basieno, with distinguished entourage, the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande, and entourage to the Arise Youth Skill Week 2025. This epoch event is organized by the Akwa Ibom State government under the leadership of the pragmatic and youth-centric governor, His Excellency Pastor Omar Basieno, through the State Ministry of Youth Development in commemoration of the United Nations World Youth Skills Day 2025. The theme for this year's Youth Skill Day is Youth Empowerment through Artificial Intelligence and the Digital Skills. This theme speaks to how urgent the need is to reload our youth into this new realm of technological skills and economy. It challenges us as leaders, mentors, and stakeholders to equip our youth with the digital tools and expose them to opportunities to innovate, solve problems, and thrive. Your Excellency, represented by your humble self, Permit me to report that this week-long event commenced on Saturday, 12 July, with a media briefing where we shared the vision and expressed the achievements of the Arise agenda with a focus to the youth development component activities lined up for this year's Youth Skills Day celebration. On Sunday, 13 July, we held an interdenominational Thanksgiving service at the Victory Chapel, University of Uyo, dedicating this impactful event to God. Special prayers were also offered to the states. And on Sunday, 13 July, we held this, special prayers were also special to the states. And we also offered, under your administration, the service was attended by members of the State Executive Council, youth stakeholders, and staff of Ministry of Youth Development. Later that evening, we hosted a meet and greet cocktail at the Signature by Royalty Hotel Uyo. It was a relaxed yet purposeful evening where guests connected and networked around youth-related matters. Yesterday, Monday 14th, featured an inspiring panel discussion on harnessing youth skills for economic growth and innovation in line with the Arise agenda. This is the sub-theme for this year. This is with seasoned panelists from the fields of agriculture, healthcare, tourism, entrepreneurship, and artificial intelligence contributed meaningfully to the discourse. Excellency, I'm pleased to report that more than 70 young innovators registered on the Akwa Ibom State portal to participate in the AI and digital skills pitching competition. After a rigorous selection process, 25 were chosen to pitch their ideas before a credible team of jury from different disciplines. From this, 5 outstanding innovators emerged, most outstandingly. A 15-year-old student of Christian Secondary School, a public school, Uyo Ephraim Asikwa, student of that Christian school, developed a project called AgroCard, emerged as the overall winner and qualifies to receive 1 million naira cash. And in addition to this, he also earned so many financial supports from various stakeholders that were there to witness that occasion, who also applauded the young man for his innovation. There was a tie for the second place winner, and I sincerely appreciate the Honorable Commissioner for Trade and Investment, my friend and brother, Dr. Obong Inyang, for pledging to sponsor one of the 2 runners-up, each receiving 750,000. The third place winner received 500,000, while consolation prizes of 100,000 each was given to, 200,000 each was given to the 4th and the 5th place winners. We also have 100,000 naira each for each of the pitchers, anybody that participated out of the 25. Intelligence and potential of our young people all harnessed through the power of artificial intelligence. Your Excellency, today is celebrated globally as the United Nations World Youth Day. We are celebrating the 10th anniversary today, since its first inauguration in 2015 as a nation. But for us in Akwa Ibom State, it is the maiden edition of this celebration, a milestone made possible by the profound approval of His Excellency Pastor Omar Basieno, PhD. Today, sir, the very creative youth of our dear state have urged me to tell you that they deeply appreciate your youth-friendly leadership disposition and avowed commitment to creating platforms such as this for young people to express themselves, grow, contribute meaningfully to their society. I am pleased to announce to this august audience that in response to the needs of the youth of Akwa Ibom State and commitment to the youth development, His Excellency the Governor recently approved the establishment of youth-friendly tech hubs in all 31 local government areas of Akwa Ibom State, with a pilot hub resident here in this facility, Ibom Led or Ibom E Library. Your Honorable Minister, this program is in line with your vision of the Niyan House, and the Greenhouse for the youth of Nigeria. These hubs will also give our vibrant youth population access to internet facilities, digital tools, and to develop and execute innovative ideas alongside training of soft skills. This is in addition to the other huge human capital development for the youth, including the empowerment of more than 10,000 youth-owned nano, micro, and small-scale enterprises, payment of 50,000 unemployed youth as business grants to 5,000 youth per month by His Excellency, the release of 750 million to 15,000 youth in Tranche 1, establishment of a Rise Youth Employment Portal, approval for payment of 20,000 welfare package for all the NYSC core members, serving order, some of which were presented in the Rise Town Square meetings in the 10 federal constituencies meetings in the states. Your Excellency, permit me to use this opportunity, this occasion, to heartily commend you for your visionary leadership, particularly for creating the Ministry of Youth Development as a standalone ministry in the state. This creation has given a broadband and accelerated attention to the concerns of youth in the state. Honorable Minister, it will also interest you to know that His Excellency is most grateful for the confidence that is reposed for myself and as a pioneer commissioner for youth development of Akwa Ibom State. I assure you of the total support of the Ministry of Youth Development and the entire Akwa Ibom youth beyond 2027. May I especially thank the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande, for honoring our warm invitation and accepting to deliver a keynote at this event. Your vision, strategic direction have placed the Nigerian youth at the heart of the national development. We are grateful for your partnership commitment to integrating Akwa Ibom youth in the youth development component of the Renewed Hope agenda of the federal government of Nigeria, led by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. We thank you for your presence here today. To our youth, AI is not a threat. It is a tool. It is here to accelerate your ideas, your businesses, your careers, the digital skills and economy. It's not just the future, it is now. You must rise with it. So our partners, policymakers, and investors, let's today mark a new beginning, a rallying point for fresh partnerships, renewed commitments, and actionable roadmaps that empower our youth sustainably. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation. Thank you. Have a wonderful stay in Akwa Ibom.
Thank you so much. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, if you know that you heard and understood very well everything, of course, that the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Youth Development said, please, I want to believe he deserves some better round of applause. He deserves some better round of applause. And of course, he's been able to achieve all this because we have a governor who understands that the future belongs to the youth, and that future is now. Please, let's put our hands together and celebrate Pastor Umar Basi. Thank you so much. Our distinguished guests, Honorable Minister, Your Excellency, very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the point I will describe as a high point of these events, where we shall be listening to our keynote speaker, who will be doing justice to the theme of this year's celebration, which is youth empowerment through AI and digital skills. Your Excellency, at a point in time where many youths are running very fast, going nowhere, we have in our country a young man saddled with the responsibility of taking charge of all the youths. Permit me to describe him as a perfect fit for this great position. This is because, according to my research, we found out that at 36, he is already a minister. And going back the history lane, we realize that at 31, 32, he has been making great impact. Put your hands together and welcome the Honorable Minister, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mr. Ayodele Olawende. Thank you.
I don't want you to continue. Thank you very much. I actually don't want him to continue. I would have loved to stand on protocol, but I want to tell you that that slogan of this state really works for the state in different angles, because the Federal Ministry of Youth Development is here in Akwa Ibom. Before, we used to have one we stay, one we go. But the first thing is that all of us were here. Directors are here, Chief of Staff to the Minister is here, the Permanent Secretaries are here, the Deputy Directors are here. And myself, I would have loved to send a representative, because as I'm dropping out from Qatar Airline, I'm entering Ibom Airline, just to come to this place today. I tried everything, but because of the love of the governor and the Commissioner of Youth, I need to be here. The great Commissioner of Youth, like he called himself when he was reading the speech, Pioneer Minister of Youth. My own brother, my colleague, a lot of people don't know that I was a youth leader. I'm still a youth leader. Not I was a youth leader before. But before, I was APC youth leader in Ondo State. And after APC youth leader, I was Minister of State before I was elevated to the minister. And when I was Minister of State, I also have a good relationship, a very recent relationship with the former Commissioner of Youth and Sport. Then it was Youth and Sport. And I remember that on my visit here, despite the fact that the commissioner loved me so much, he's an elderly statesman, but he loves me so much. And in front of him, I plead with the governor to have a Ministry of Youth stand alone. And the governor promised me that when he's changing the cabinet, there's going to be an alignment with the Ministry of Youth Development. So permit me to thank my brother, Professor, which we are retiring from the youth demography, the APC youth leader, very soon. He's my colleague and he's my brother. I welcome everybody. Kopa we. The director, you are welcome, ma. And let me thank the governor on behalf of you. But don't be surprised that the governor is doing that too, because the House Committee Chairman on Youth Development, which oversees NYC and Ministry of Youth Development, is from Akwa Ibom State. And on his absentia, let me also thank a brother, a heart-warming brother. He's an honorable member, House of Representatives, Honorable Martins. Thank you for all you do. Even when you are not here, we thank you very much. I should have done a lot of keynote address, but let me thank my Permanent Secretary, Mr. Olubunmi Olusoya, and welcome him to my second home. I know maybe he's coming here as a PS. And let me also welcome the Chief of Staff. He has been here several times. We have been in the struggle to come here and do the work. Because I'm in the public stage, I won't say the other one. I'm very happy to be here with you today for this Arise Youth Skill Week 2025. The Lagos counterpart will be jealous now because they also want me to be in Lagos now. I thank the government and the people of Akwa Ibom State for the warm welcome, always. And I thank the Ministry of Youth Development for putting these important programs together. This event is very important right now because everything that we should be thinking about now is skill. We have a gap, there's a gap in skills in the world as Nigeria is concerned. The world is changing. Everything is becoming fast. And that is why you see that we youth, we don't want to listen to anything that you must just do it. We don't want to know the way you want to do it. Today, we are in use of artificial intelligence and digital tools in many areas, including farming, health, fashion, education, events, and other things, in music. And you will recall, like I said, I was with Minister of AI in UAE, Dubai, just some days past. And one of those things we are trying to do is to bring him forth and see how we can collaborate together and use what they have. Because I also realized in my visit to UAE that our major problem that we are facing here is that we want it now, but they are thinking of the future. And I want us to implicate that by doing something very remarkable, thinking about the future. And that is what the president of this country, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is doing now. A lot of people have run away from it. They don't want to remove the subsidy. But the president is saying, why won't I remove the subsidy? Because I'm not thinking of what is going to become now. I'm the president now. But in the future, what will those guys, what would we, young people, youth, find ourselves in the nearest future? What are we going to be talking about? And what are those things that we are going to be saying? This is why it is very important that our young people learn how to use these tools to solve problems and also create jobs for themselves. The theme of this week, Youth Empowerment Through AI and Digital Skill, is expected, especially what we need in Nigeria right now. The Federal Ministry of Youth Development believes that every young Nigerian should have access to training and support to succeed in digital stage. We are supporting innovation hubs, digital skills programs, and partnership with companies that train young people in areas like soft skills development, digital marketing, robotic, and mechanic learning. These programs have been driven through digital literacy, which we've started already, and core members and other youths in the market areas, both formal and informal youth, will attest to this, which is a partnership between the Ministry of Youth and NITDA, Digital for All, and Nigerian Youth Academy, NIA, which the Honorable Commissioner have mentioned, which we want every youth to go there. It's now a 4-component. We want to have our own Coursera, and our own Coursera has been on ground now, which is Nigerian Youth Academy. We are training young people to have a digital skills and to use it to market more money to others in their life to get a good life and good goals. Everything shouldn't be white-collar job. Now, we must get back to the skills. And that is why we pitched the idea of one youth, 2 skill. That should be the slogan in Akwa Ibom now, that a youth in Akwa Ibom must have at least 2 skills. This is why I'm happy that the state, Akwa Ibom State, the Arise State, is joining us to promote the agenda through the initiative like Akwa Ibom Youth Skill Pitch Challenge, giving the young people the chance to present their business ideas and receive support in one of the best ways to help them to grow. It is not a doubt anymore that Nigerian youth need empowerment. But I've changed that, and that is why I'm not rushing into whatever I'm doing now. No more rushing. Plan it well. It is not compulsory that you take the accolade. A lot of people are coming behind us, and we must start thinking for them. And we must start thinking about the future of this country, because nobody is going to think for us. And that is why I'm employing all of us that are young people, even those that are elders here, to start thinking about our children. And let me tell you the plan. You plan for your child. That is why you give birth to it. Now, let's start to plan for the country, because the country is all of us and belongs to all of us. Giving young people a chance to present their ideas and businesses. Honorable Commissioner, well done. On our recent official journey, which I've also mentioned before, to UAE, we saw how they are promoting development of ideas into good business by supporting the startup ideas. This is what the world is doing now. This is what a lot of young people are projecting on. You will ask yourself, in 1 year's time, where are you going to be as a core member? And this is what we must start to do. No doubt, Akwa Ibom is giving it in the right direction, encouraging the creativity and also investing in the creativity ideas of our young people. This is the real environment that we want. I think you are moving due to Lagos. I encourage other states now, governors, to keep in track and let's start talking about the skills. This is much more than Council of Skill. This is, we want to build a community of skills. To the young people here today, you are not just the future of this country now. You are also the present future of a country. Your idea, your energy, your courage can change Nigeria for better. For the first time in the history of this country, we have a president that is listening. We have a president that is thinking about the future and thinking outside the box. So what will stop us as a youth, minister, permanent secretary, commissioners, leaders of youth organizations, for us not to promote and bring in terms the betterment of Nigeria? We are counting on you to lead you on this community, business to be built, and also become the role model for others in all areas. We are visiting the countries, and one of those pledges we make in UAE is that we want them to also visit this country so that we put these things together and work together. As we celebrate the World Youth Skill Day 2025, present in Akwa Ibom, let us continue to work together to help the young people to succeed. On behalf of the federal government of Nigeria, I will assure you and assure you and assure you again that the three pillars of the Ministry of Youth Development should come down to the local level, the federal, the state, and the local government, which is to continue to support, to protect, and to empower the youth positively in human capital building. We are committed to work with Akwa Ibom State as a ministry and all other states that our youth must be skilled, empowered, and ready to compete with the global view. Let me announce officially the launching of the NIA Ambassador Program in Akwa Ibom here. And let me say this is the first state we are putting this into track. And I believe that we starting in Akwa Ibom will replicate in other states, and we will employ and encourage all governors that we should start looking at the human capital building budget, not only capital budget, so that a lot of young people will be empowered. This program is all over everywhere in Nigeria, and we are very delighted to have it launched, NIA Ambassador programs in all 30-something local governments we have in Akwa Ibom. Under this initiative, the NIA Ambassador will place in each local government secretariats across the state. They will help the young people in other community to get informed about the youth-focused programs, an initiative of the federal government, including the Bamboo Youth Initiative, which is on track here in Akwa Ibom. Once again, let me thank you for welcoming me into this government of Akwa Ibom. We are all rising together, and we will continue to organize and organize and organize. This program I've started for 2 days. I'm just here to do this, and I will go again now, and I will join you again in this program, because it is our focus to put smile on the face of all youth. And let me say this, youth are not residing in Abuja. Youth are residing in the local area. A lot of people will say I'm a grassroots person, but the truth is that Abuja cannot do it alone without the state involved. So we have opened our arsenals, and we've opened the Ministry of Youth, very open, even in NYSC camp. And let me say we are on track Very soon, you have seen the changes in National Youth Service Corps, but you are going to see the bigger changes. We must try, because the president is making reforms in every areas, in every sectors, and we can't be left alone. And that is why even the two major organizations, departments in the Ministry of Youth Development, which is the NYC and the CLTC. A lot of people don't know what CLTC are doing. That's the Citizenship and Leadership Training Center. We are reforming all. And very soon, you are going to see the changes. A Rome is not built in a day. I put it to the youth of this country. Don't be surprised. We know and we hear. We are part of you. And I don't blame the youth, because even those elder youth that are 40 upward, they have not seen the government for once. They've not touched the government for once. And they've not felt the government. But this time around, we are bringing the government to your doorstep, because we know that it is more than prayer. It is act and do. We must think and start thinking. It is not easy for 40 years breakage of government. And we are saying we can do it together. And that is why we said, we feel your pains. Things are hard. But they are the hard times we must all go through. And make sure that we put even those unborn. A lot of people will be able to come to our country and come and ask us, how do we do it? And that is why large numbers of us are making this sacrifice. We are here for you. We are open. I know the commissioner is open the way I am. And this is the first time we are having an open door. Open door. And I repeat again, open door Ministry of Youth Development in the federal level. We need you. We want you. It is our country. And nobody is going to do it better than us. Thank you, and God bless you.
And thank you very much, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Like the Honorable Minister had appealed that he is going to step out and come back. I'm sure we now understand, all of us, we know what's happening today. Today is the beginning of the 7 days morning exercise in honor and in respect of our former President, the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And due to this, there is an emergency that he needs to also meet with His Excellency the Governor. Like he promised, we'll return shortly. And so I thank all of you. We are going to take your questions. Once the minister returns, we'll take your questions, and then we proceed with other items of the event. But in the meantime, we thank you, and then we'll leave you in the hands of the brass band, who would now take us through some excellent interludes in a form that we describe as sotto voce. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we just go on a break. Once we return, this event continues. It is the grand finale of Arise Youth Skills Week here in Akwa Ibom State 2025. Stick around. Once we return, the event continues. God bless you.
Akwa Ibom. This beautiful land is a tourist delight, whether one is here to explore, relax, or soak in the peaceful atmosphere, there's always something magical waiting for everyone. The land is green and serene, home to one of the longest shorelines in the world, stretching an impressive 129 kilometers. Ibono Beach is a crown jewel of West Africa's coastline, perfect for sunbathing, picnics, and soul-soothing walks. Its waters and environs brims with unspoiled nature and ecosystem that supports diverse species of marine creatures and wildlife. Nestled by the beach, just a few meters from the shoreline of Upenekang, is one of the oldest churches in the world, an iconic tourist delight, the Kwaibu Church. Deep within its Gothic walls are tales of awakening, conquest, and spiritual surrendering. This is Ikorabasi, the popular Utaiwa Beach. Its scenic view and unsullied beauty is a sprawling wonder. But this historic land incubates a history as old as time. It is home to the Amalgamation Office, the very place where the treaty unifying the northern and southern protectorates of Nigeria was signed in 1914. Among the many relics preserved in this land is the Bridge of No Return. It is said that no slave who stepped on this bridge ever looked back or returned. With 3 compartments designed to hold the most defiant captives, many died in the dungeon before the ships arrived. Ikorabasi is indeed a museum. Here is the mock grave of 500 brave women who lost their lives during the 1929 Women's War, a fierce protest against colonial injustice to women that culminated in Ikorabasi and other provinces, which ended on the 16th of December. And then a story is told of this Amazon, Madame Adiara Edem, a fearless daughter of the soil who seized a colonial officer's gun during the women's protest and broke it in defiance. She was the grandmother of Sir Udoma Udoma. Her legacy inspires. Again in Uran local government area, the pages of history continues to turn. Here is the slave boat, a relic of the past that tells a tragic human story of horror and resilience. This floating boat once ferried enslaved Africans across the Atlantic to the Caribbean, Europe, America, and other distant lands. But in 1846, towards the end of the transatlantic slave trade, brave natives of Wangiba in Uran local government rose in defiance. They seized the boat from the slave masters, and the rest, like they say, is history. History lies here. Nature is incredible. Here is the Blue River, hidden away within the lush vegetation of Edemidem, or Hoabo community at Ukanafon local government area of Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. And talking about rivers, the Akwa Ibom liquid habitation offers yet another wonder. This time, the water is green. The Green River is enchanting, a natural treasure tucked away in the heart of Ibesikpo Asutan local government area, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. The river is steeped in legend and local reverence. For generations, this river has been believed to possess powerful healing properties, especially for women in labor. Locals speak of its mystical ability to ease childbirth and promote swift, safe delivery, earning it a place of honor and awe in the hearts of many. In Nsurubium, at the UNESCO designated heritage site, where a unique spring of life still gushes with life, and the famed and popular Itiarubium is located, the rich cultural heritage of this place is perhaps one of the state's most valuable cultural assets. With the recent interest of the UNESCO to develop the site and its environs, Akwa Ibom is poised to become one of the nation's most visited places. Here is Itu local government area. Its rolling hills, known locally as Oboritu, offers scenic views and serves as an excellent hiking spot for nature enthusiasts and adventure seekers. But Itu's treasures do not stop there. This historic landscape is home to several landmarks of national significance, including the First Presbyterian Church in the southeastern region, the first post office in the southeast, the Mary Slessor General Hospital named after the legendary missionary, the Awawa Waterfall, the Monkey Reserve, and the Ibom Specialist Hospital. Just by Itu borders is Ibion Ibom local government area, reputed as the final resting place of the world's renowned missionary, Mary Slessor. Her cairn stands as a tribute to her indomitable spirit. Located in Usei Koroku, Ibion Ibom local government area of Akwa Ibom State, the cairn was built in the symbolic shape of an ant hill, one of the natural wonders she deeply admired during her first visit to the community. Mary Slessor lived, worked, and passed on in this serene village on January 13, 1915 at the age of 67. Her selfless efforts, particularly in stopping the killing of twins, earned her a place in African history and literature. Ikorekbene. Renowned for its exquisite and exotic raffia artistry, this town is a confluence of rich culture and traditions, montaged with a delightful landscape. Straddling the city skyline is the iconic 4 Point by Sheraton Hotel, which offers tourists and visitors the southern experience of hospitality and comfort. The town also holds the title as the first local government experiment in British West Africa. Here is Uyo, perhaps Nigeria's best kept secret. This city is a charm, a destination marvel. Uyo is peaceful, home to one of Africa's thriving airlines, Ibom Air. The city's landmark structures are both iconic and creative, like the 21-story smart building, the Akpabio International Stadium, the Victor Atta International Airport, the Ibom Golf Course and Resort, and the Arise Park under construction. And there are flyovers. Its solid beams of steam, rebranded with sunny colors and exotic murals, attracts. These structures are complemented by the city's incredible road network that has made the city a unique experience. Known as the cleanest city in Nigeria for 8 consecutive years, the city